Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Simon Cromer, and today we're going to be doing a video on how to properly buff your boat. So I know I've done a lot of these videos in the past, but it is important to watch every single one because there's going to be a little bit of different information into each and every single video. So guys, without further ado, let's get to it. Hey guys, welcome back. Let's get started. So it's been a while since I made a video, so I'm super excited to get back to it. Today's gonna be, like I said, another tutorial on how to buff your boat. So now if you noticed a couple of videos ago, I had a video on how to buff a boat, and that was on a center console. So guys, if you didn't get as much information as you would have hoped or wanted to, hopefully this video will cover the other details that perhaps wasn't in that last video. A little bit of prior information on this boat to get you guys up to speed. This is a 47 Sport Sedan. We did a full wet sanding process, and that would include 3 steps, which would be 500, 1,000, and 2,000, followed up by buffing, polishing, triple P, and Stark ceramic coating, the graphene one, which is liquid Kraken. So that is the full process on this boat. In this video, we're focusing on just the buffing. So I know you guys are probably itching. You guys are probably like, Simon, why didn't you get a video of the wet sanding? I've had a lot of requests for this video. I promise I will get you this video in the future. I did attempt to film a wet sanding video on this boat, but the water got all over the lens and you couldn't really see the video footage, so I decided to cut that out, and we're gonna do another video on buffing. So guys, it's gonna be exciting, and hopefully, like I said, we can catch up on a little bit of the details that maybe perhaps I forgot to mention in the last video. So right here, you can see we're using Level R again. Now, is Level R the best compound out there? No, it's not. Level R is a good and a great diminishing abrasive type of compound. So that means if you're looking for a compound that you want it to break down, you want it to save you steps, you want to finish out like a polish, this is the perfect compound to use. However, if there's a lot of scratching, if there is still heavy scratches in the boat, if you're looking to cut out a little bit more oxidation, Level R would not be your first go-to. Rather, instead, you'd want to go for something like Ardex Super 600, 3M heavy duty compound, or you could even do like a Big Bite heavy duty compound, or perhaps Presta super duty compound. So any of those more aggressive non-diminishing abrasives. So a diminishing abrasive, all that means is that the sanding grits, they break down as you buff the boat. So pretty much any of those harder compounds, they aren't diminishing abrasives, so you have to work them in a lot longer. And then that also requires an extra step of buffing or polishing because you're not getting that pure shine on that first pass that you're doing with the buffing process. So guys, I hope that makes sense. If it does not, please drop a comment below and I will explain that more clearly in the comments. So we're gonna work this out. We're starting the buffer around 1,000. You could even start it around 800, but you want to make sure you finish it out around 1,800 because, when you look at the product and you look at the suggestions for the directions of the product, it recommends you finish it out at a higher speed. So finishing out at a higher speed also creates more heat, which eliminates more scratches. And then also, as you finish out the surface, you want to keep that pad a little bit more flat. So when you're starting the compounding, you want to tilt your pad on an angle, 45-degree angle, really focus that pressure in one specific spot and do all that cutting on the boat. And then as you work in the compound, as you increase the RPMs from 1,000 up to, you can do a 3-step, you could do 1,000 up to 14, up to 18. And as you finish out the surface, you want to finish that pad flat against the gel coat. And that's going to leave a better surface, and it's going to leave less swirl marks for your polishing step. So guys, also I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, please let me know in the comments. So we're wiping that down. We're gonna move on to the next section, and always be sure to clean your pad regularly. So the worst thing you can do is have a dirty pad and continue to use that dirty pad over and over and over. It's gonna make your detailing a lot harder, and then also the finish isn't gonna be as well. So I'm working in tight spaces here. You can see we taped off all the bright work. So why do we tape off the bright work? Well, the bright work at times can be very dirty. So especially if the boat hasn't been detailed in quite some time, that bright work will be super dirty. And when you're buffing, that compound is gonna get into that bright work, and it's gonna come off onto the wool pad, and it's gonna turn your wool pad black. And then depending on what color boat you're working on, that black's gonna go onto the gel coat. So definitely a good idea to tape off bright work. Also, you're gonna eliminate the chance of scratching. So for example, if there's a piece of dirt sitting on that bright work, you get that into the pad, you're gonna scratch a gel coat. That certainly does happen. So as you can see here, we're just taking it nice and slow, making sure we're getting and covering every little section of the boat. And as you can see, I do have the pad slightly turned on that angle to make sure I'm focusing that pressure all in one spot. So we're gonna work up here, the side of the window, and we're gonna continue, turn it sideways, get any angle we can. So obviously, you can't always keep the buffer flat depending on what you're working on. And I like to show videos of me not working on like a super easy spot, because then it shows you guys kind of how I'm angling the machine, how I'm running the machine, how I'm maneuvering. You really have to be almost like an artist. You have to be like an artist with the machine. So turn the DeWalt this way, that way. And that's why you have the double-sided pad. You can turn it upside down or sideways. And you really want to take it slow and make sure you really rub up against the tape and get every single square inch. So that's definitely important when you're looking at the finish, or else you're going to leave a little bit of oxidation. When you take that tape off, there's going to be a little bit of oxidation right around the corners of those bright work pieces. So definitely take your time there. Work down, finish it out. I always recommend wearing gloves, whether you're the DIY boat owner or the detailer. These products are not super friendly to your body. They're not super friendly to your skin. A lot of chemicals in these products. So save your skin, save the chemicals, wear some good gloves. So I'll actually drop the gloves that I wear in the comments below, because these gloves are amazing and they never break, and actually you can use them for a couple days. So really heavy duty. I think they're like 7M or 9M, something crazy, but they're the best gloves I've found, and I've just found them recently, and I've continued to use them over and over and over. So gloves, buffers, buffers again, we've talked about this in the past. DeWalt, Makita, it's more of a preference. DeWalt, I think, it has a faster trigger, it's really powerful, and it's indestructible, but so is the Makita. The Makita just has a slower trigger, which for me, honestly, is not my type. So I prefer the faster trigger. I like the feel of the DeWalt a little better. I like how it feels in my hands. I like how I feel when I run it. I like the grip a little better when I grip it in my hand. So that's why I use the DeWalt. But guys, you're free to use the Makita. A lot of professional detailers love the Makita, and they claim it is the standard. So DeWalt, Makita, your preference. Wool pad, as always, Lake Country wool pad. I don't go and spend, I don't go out there and spend a ridiculous amount, $40 on a 3M pad, because I just don't think it's necessary, especially when the quality you're getting out of Lake Country is really good. So, you want to make sure you have a quality pad, but you also got to keep your price in check and make sure that you're not spending ridiculous amounts on some of your products. So that's definitely important. And guys, these Lake Country wool pads, they last forever, and they last a really long time. Sometimes I'll get a couple boats out of them before I even have to switch to a new pad. Also, the Lake Country foam pads are also excellent pads for polishing. So keep in mind, Lake Country, for all your polishing, all your buffing needs, they have all the correct pads. They have good pads for working on cars, working on paints, working on gel coats, Emeron, all grip, anything. So keep that in mind. Also, I use an applicator. So some people don't like to use an applicator. As I'm sure I've mentioned this in the past as well, if you've been following the channel and following the videos. But for me, I love the applicator because it allows me to control exactly where I'm putting the compound and how much. So applicator I will always use. Some people don't like it because it's like an extra thing you have to carry around. But as you can see on this float, have the box in the back and basically just storing everything in that little plastic box, so that it's not rolling off the float or anything like that. So again, got that buffer tilted at the beginning, just really working in. So right when you guys start buffing, really working the compound nice and slow. It's not a rush, nice and slow does the trick, and it's rare. It's almost a rarity that people will work in these compounds too long. So if I encourage you, if you're new, if you're the DIY boat owner, nothing wrong with that, but make sure you're working in this compound long enough. Make sure you allow it to fully break down, take out as many scratches as possible. Also, I didn't mention, but we are working on a black boat. So a black boat always proposes more of a challenge because you have to make sure that you're doing your best work or it's gonna show. No exceptions. It's gonna show if you don't do your best work. So on these black boats, sanding's gotta be on point. Sanding has to be down to a science. Buffing has to be on point. And look guys, if you're a boat detailer, and even if you're a boat owner, you can listen to, but you always have to, and if I were you, I'd always add an extra step into the quote. So black, blues, reds, those boats are harder to restore. You almost have to always include an extra step. Because if you're not buffing these things out perfect, you will have to do that extra step, whether that be 2 steps of buffing, or 2 steps of polishing. So as you guys know, the typical process for a full detail and wet sand would be wet sanding, 1 buff, 1 polish, and then a polymer, or if you're in a ceramic coat, you do triple P ceramic coating. But on these colored boats, guys, it is a lot harder because you can't have any imperfections. So that would be my advice. If you're a boat detailer and you're doing a quote and you're maybe not as comfortable, include that extra round. Always include that extra round in the quote, and then go out and do the extra round if you have to. So there's definitely more attention. There's definitely more to pay attention to when you're working on these colored boats. So just another tip. And then also I did want to talk about the raft setup. So if you guys are wondering like, hey, can I actually do these boats in the water? Because I used to think the same thing. Until my buddy or my business partner, Adam, found from AJ's Marine Detailing. He found a good system, and pretty much we took that system, and now instead of this being a compromise to my detailing, as in like, hey, I can't buff boats in the water, now we offer buffing in the water because we can do our best work. So that was always my thing. If I can't do my best work in the water, then I'm not going to offer it as a service. But with this system, with these, we have these 2 ratchet straps, and then we have these 2 suction cups, and we have a couple clips that we clip on to keep us tight up against the boat. And guys, this system works amazing for these boats that are in the water, these boats that aren't on a lift, these boats that you can really put that raft right up to the boat and strap it down tight. This system's great, and the raft does not hardly move at all. So I can put a ton of pressure on. I'm not gonna slip, I'm not gonna fall in the water. So like I said, it's 2 ratchet straps on both sides of the raft. You have 2 suction cups. You can see that little orange suction cup on the left, and then you have 2 clips, one that's clipped from the ratchet strap to the suction cup, and the other clip is attached from the ratchet at the bottom to the actual raft. So I hope that makes sense. If not, again, drop a comment and I'll answer it. So back to the buffing. So that is our raft setup, but back to the buffing. Gonna work in between these tight little window spot, and gonna turn that buffer any way we can to really make sure we're getting right up to the edge of that tape, making sure we give it plenty of time to work. You can see I'm starting slow, and then we'll be turning up the RPMs on the buffer to finish it out more properly. But guys, yeah, this is the black boat. This is the buffing process. Again, if you didn't learn enough from that last video I made, hopefully you're able to pick up a few more points in this video. But guys, with that said, we are going to be bringing this video to a wrap. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, leave a comment. Be sure to share this to other people, because guys, this is how we help this channel grow. It's the only way. So please share this channel. I am going to be doing something special for our 1,000th subscriber, or not for our 1,000th subscriber, but for hitting 1,000 subscribers in general, it's going to be something really cool, something really special, something to give back to the community. So I'm excited for that, for the next milestone of the channel. I'm going to continue posting videos, as many as I can. I'm going to be more active, hopefully, on podcasts. Even if I have to go out of my way and make solo podcasts, I will do that for you guys. So I know things have been a little busy. I haven't posted many videos. I've kind of took this approach of, since I moved from Ohio down to South Florida, just really reacclimating, restarting up the business, rejuvenizing the business, rehiring employees, meeting the right people, getting with the right clients, building the right team. I'm gonna have more time available. So guys, we're gonna get to this. We're gonna continue growing, because at the end of the day, it doesn't always have to be how fast. It's always, slow and steady can win the race, as long as you don't give up. So we're gonna keep persisting, keep going. Like I said, leave the video a like, share it. Be sure to subscribe. What are you doing, guys? If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, be sure to subscribe right now. Share it. And guys, with that said, that's it. I will see you on the next video. Peace out.